As for Newcastle United, well, they make 7 changes from their most recent Premier League fixture, a defeat to Leicester City. Notable among them, though, the return of their captain, Jamal Lascelles, who's missed the last 8 matches in total due to coronavirus and its after effects. Martin Dubravka plays in goal for the first time since the end of last season, injury having kept the Slovakia international out for several months. Andy Carroll leads the attack a week after finally scoring for the first time since his return to the club, just over 10 years after his last goal in a Newcastle shirt.
Yeah, Newcastle going to look to hit Andy Carroll very early, and don't be surprised to see Longstaff as well in support from midfield, looking to run beyond or pick up any knockdowns or second balls that may come from him.
Let's take a look at the lineup, starting with the home side. Arsenal have had a late injury issue with Gabriel Martinelli injured in the warm-up. Reiss Nelson has come in to replace him just minutes ahead of the kick-off. So that makes 8 changes to the side that won 4-0 at the Hawthorns last time out as Mikel Arteta reshuffles the pack. Cedric gets a rare outing at right-back. David Luiz returns in central defence. Joe Willock and Mohamed El Neni forming a central defensive midfield pairing. Nicola Pepe and now Reiss Nelson either side of Willian in support of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, who leads the attack.
Yeah, the real hit here for us.
Time again by the players in the English game, and it is Newcastle Cup, one of 2 realistic chances of winning something every season. It's a comfortable one for them. Perform rather better today in the 3rd round of the FA Cup than they did in the quarter-finals of the Carabao. Just nudges it infield, collected by Joe Linton. For Arsenal, away from Joe Linton. Pepe with the shot.
Touch of gold in this competition.
Well, they're on the attack early here as well, looking to make the early breakthrough, and first touch of the ball for Dummett. Clark sends that swirler in, just to sort of
know that there's plenty more work to do.
Foul by David Luiz. They have created more opportunities. They look not one of his better efforts. Not David Luiz now forward. It'll lay off from Aubameyang. Dummett challenged or challenging in glorious strike into the far corner of the net. Here come Arsenal with Nelson, and it just spun away off his boot. Finds Willian, who's got Nelson ahead of him here, and Nelson was completely taken out of the game there by Jamal Lascelles. And on his return to the side, his first major contribution is to up of possession here from the visiting side. Again, they're looking for Carroll. Play, having taken the sting out of the initial ball forward. Literally 5 minutes in one game against his old club Southampton. Good burst from Kieran Tierney, and Cedric racing forward, but we've never even seen him do anything like that in training. We don't know where that came from.
Well, you saw he
plenty back, and the deflection is off Luiz. Hendrick underneath it. Almiron gets there. They're all claiming offside, and finally the flag.
But Newcastle really packing that box out the moment Arsenal have control.
Pepe going in short, and Willock.
Probably the mindset that he's had before the game.
Here comes Aubameyang now. Arsenal breaking quickly. Excellent save by Dubravka. Danger still not cleared. It's
pitch and good players in the amateur set pieces will be a big thing.
It is for Arsenal.
No, I mean it's been a pretty steady performance from them.
Cedric supporting Pepe if he needs him, and the ball. Expect Joe Willock to do it on all occasions, and David Luiz is there, beaten for pace. This is Reiss Nelson, still going for it, and Dubravka relieved to be able to pounce.
Kieran Tierney absolutely brilliant again on that left-hand side. Super run, really.
It's Joe Willock on. Quickly, excellent save by Dubravka. Danger still not cleared. It's Willian now, and it is shanked over the top for Longstaff, sending it forward. Almiron, who's full of running.
It did ricochet off the Newcastle player, but Nicolas Pepe just...
Aubameyang. Willock tries to challenge. It's Carroll. Being short, he'll take the return. Bit of space here for Nicola Pepe. Just took it a little too far, and Isaac Hayden with a on the far side. Getting in ahead of Kraft, whipping that one in. Had plenty of time to pick out Willian, who skips away from Andy Carroll, but is then nudged to the ground by Emil Kraft. Cedric, forceful with that ball, and he fancies another run at Kraft. Arsenal's second corner of the match. It's a deep one. Here it comes, and the header towards the far post, and Andy Carroll there. In from Willian. It was Pablo Marie going for the header. As Tierney now gets to the byline again. A boot on.
I think it is a boot. And
Nelson trying to have a run at Kraft. He blocks him off. Space for Willian. Called in. Dubravka's committed. And on Jeff Hendrick with a challenge, just catching his opponent as Cedric sends a break. This is Nelson up against Kraft. Moment. Can they find a way through as Willock jabs at his free kick? Carroll will head towards the ball.
I just feel that Arsenal have got to be a little bit quicker with their thinking and play, and they might just catch Newcastle out and be able to find that piece of space at the moment. It's a little bit dull because it's a bit of a stalemate.
Cedric has his
space for Arsenal to be able to play through. Probably really our best of getting.
And now Cedric whipping it in. He's in the air for an. But again, they just can't force their way into the Newcastle penalty area. Willian. Arsenal a little more, but at the break, it is goalless. As Arsenal get the second half underway, because it clearly means that Newcastle just with Paul Dummett. Again, they're looking for Andy Carroll.
Could get on the end of
Hendrick. Held up by Joe Willock, unfairly according to the referee, who is bringing a save from Dubravka as Pepe sends it in. It's 5 minutes and they can get it done in the 90. Of course, we will have a result come what may, because there will be no. Louise is there and Tierney tries to clear. And Hendrick sent it in, and Andy Carroll is there, and that was a great chance that suddenly sending it forward. Here's Carroll, decent shot as well, and Bernd Leno forced into something resembling to the edge of the penalty area now as Almiron looks up, sends it his way, but
they've been huge contributors to Arsenal in the last month or so.
It was a high boot from Marie there, but he clearly
one side as opposed to being down the middle behind Aubameyang.
El Neni sending it forward here to Aubameyang, who clips it past Dubravka, and in the end
then have it back again. It's just that type of mindset.
This is Kieran Tierney whipping it in. Pepe rides the challenge of Dummett. He's away from him and unleashes the shot. Skidding across the.
Probably should be 1-0 up off of that.
Nice touch for Murphy. Xhaka tries to win it back and he's penalised by the referee. Into Pepe, and the header down is saved by Dubravka, who denies Joe Willock. And he again providing an offensive outlet on the near side for Arsenal into Bukayo Saka. That's a bit more like it. So players would be the last people that would want an extra half an hour in this tie as the shot comes in from Aubameyang once again. And Aubameyang in the penalty area. Smith throws in there as well. Aubameyang gets up, but isn't. It is still Arsenal 0, Newcastle 0. We will have extra time. Rose steps in. Saka with a little flick up towards Lacazette. Emile Smith Rowe here for Arsenal, and finally someone scored, and it's Emile Smith Rowe for Arsenal who breaks the deadlock in the second period of extra time. Isaac Hayden stays on the ground. Xhaka, good running by Tierney again, into Aubameyang. It's goal number 2, and the man who scored both goals in the FA Cup final last season when they beat Chelsea by 2-1, scores Arsenal's second tonight. And after a long, tight tussle in North London, it is Arsenal who will prevail. And
on the right now, what's on? It's a loose ball.